we know that constitutionally you have a fundamental right or a liberty interest, they say it in the legal terms, to family, to be a parent, to procreation and contraception, to personal relationships, and to marry. Those are fundamental rights. They've been protected by the Constitution, U.S. Supreme Court decisions, and different amendments. As a consequence of the changes in families, we have reached a point where families are not able to negotiate how they're going to relate to each other. And so you saw these grandparent visitation laws hitting the books. And before those laws hit the books, the U.S. Supreme Court never identified grandparents as being a formal part of a family. And they've never said that they have any constitutional rights. And so then we had this issue of grandparent visitation rights, which is a statutory right. It is a states' rights issue. It is not a constitutional right. You don't automatically get to visit your grandchild. You have to go through the parent. And in the state of Colorado, you have made a firm commitment based upon your current law that the only way someone may petition, not automatically get, but petition for visitation, if the parent is going through a divorce, there's an annulment or a separation. In another case, it could be when a child is not living with a parent, so maybe in state's custody, or when somebody else has custody of the child, you may be able to petition for grandparent visitation rights. And the third situation that you may be able to intervene and visit with your grandchild is if the parent is dead. So the grandparents derives its connection to the grandchild through the parent's rights, not through any other mechanism in Colorado. Having said that, what is important for people to know is your window of opportunity is in those three situations. Some type of family disruption, somebody has custody of the child that's not a parent, or if a parent has died or doing military duty or something. Each of those three situations have different time limits and different authorities or rights or requirements and stipulations attached to it. So you really need to know which of the three you need. Do you need a power of attorney? Is that sufficient? Do you need allocation of parental rights? Or do you need guardianship, whether you are going through state's custody or non-state's custody? The other thing that you need to know is that at some point you have to decide how you're going to manage that relationship. Are you going to manage it informally, and are you going to seek a minister or a counselor to help you to work out how you're going to visit your grandchild? Or if you're parenting the grandchild, how are you going to continue to parent the grandchild to serve what is best for the child? And can the two of you work it out without going into the legal system? That would be best. However, that doesn't always happen, and so if you don't, that legal paper trail of power of attorney, allocation of parental responsibility, or guardianship becomes key. So if you're a grandparent raising a grandchild, you need to seek some type of guidance about which of those three mechanisms you might have access to, just to make decisions. Not to mention, the tough decision is, do you need to think about adopting the child? Because only in adoption do you really have complete authority over what happens to that grandchild.